Welcome back to TableDropZone podcast. And this week we will continue with the topic of art in the miniature wargaming. But first we will start with the finding for this week.
Check out some findings, yeah. So you remember 2 weeks ago when we said that we found this amazing thing that is the stage play of Totoro? Well, apparently they're doing a lot more than that. So I found out that a lot of Studio Ghibli movies are being made into very, very high quality plays. And the one that you can currently find trailers for is Spirited Away. Little Chihiro's wonderful trip through the world of the gods' bathing house. A wonderful movie, I absolutely love it. And it looks really good. What do you think of the trailer?
I think it's just like just so many things inside the trailer. Like it brings a lot of memory about all the cartoon I love in the past. Now it's become like real in the stage.
I cannot wait to see that recording. It looks really amazing. And there are also others. And I think Kiki is on the list, Kiki's Delivery Service. Absolutely amazing movie, one of my favorites for Studio Ghibli. Good stuff. And the other one, Tenacious D is back with a new video. Thank you, Jack Black. I needed this in my life.
Yeah, we feel happy to watch a video because it's a combination of everything. It's so funny, so violent, a lot of bloody, but it's still fun.
It's funny. And he's singing about how he doesn't play video games except for all the games that he plays, which is exactly how I feel about it. No, it's great fun. It's fantastic. And Jack Black, should you by any chance come across this video at any point in time, I would be okay with a Be Kind Rewind Part 2.
This week we will focus on the part of like art from the players, from us, from all of you as a player.
Especially you and you there. Oh, and you. It's interesting because this has two very interesting implications. The first one is, of course, there is the obvious art, right? The painting of the miniatures, the building of the terrain. These are all very, very obvious things that, of course, players add as artistic value. But also, it is the point where all the art culminates, right? The production companies give us a very, very good thing to put paint on. But in the end, what we do with it is our idea, our concept. But there's more to it because the player is not just part of the completion of the work of art. He is also the viewer. And as you all know, as we discussed in the first episode of this, art lies in the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah.
Should have put him here next to your orc on my Adeptus Mechanicus.
Yeah, it's just like, of course, Catalyst or Game Workshop give us so many examples how to paint the minis, how to base all that. However, it's on our freedom to do everything, to paint our mini.
Yeah, there's minis painting, there's crafting terrain. I think this is the most common thing that everybody kind of does, painting minis and crafting terrain. The interesting thing is that, of course, a couple of people are also crafting minis, right? So it's either kit bashing, where people add new things to the miniatures, reposition them, melt a little bit of plastic to move the arm a little bit, stuff like that. Or adding a cloak with green stuff. This is stuff that you see quite often. But also 3D printing new pieces, adding them. If your Chaos Marine doesn't have enough skulls, you add more skulls. the exhibit way. Pimp my Chaos Marine, your dog. I heard you like skulls, so I put some skulls on your skulls. And of course, also other stuff like artworks, fan art, the good fan art. YouTube videos. Some of them are art.
So many like YouTubers, they really make it serious when they create their products, and also they show how to make the game more interesting by building some specific terrains, and how to paint things, and how to develop the whole battlefields. And even some people also like make a real like very interesting like cartoon and write story around the game.
Yeah,
and everything like published on YouTube, I mean that all for free.
You can watch it.
Yeah.
Why don't you? No, jokes aside. I mean, yeah, absolutely. There's this, for example, this one guy who got like tons of pieces of Lord of the Rings, and he rebuilt a gigantic board with Minas Tirith on one side, big battlefield, etc. And I don't even know how much he added to that, but the board was gigantic at the end. And he did that all by combining different sets of pieces that Games Workshop had sent him and changing them a little bit to get the look and feel. And he went back into the movies, Lord of the Rings movies, took screen caps and tried to understand how the structure of the whole set actually looks like. And this is of course artwork. And you have channels like Tabletop Time where they just built this gigantic like with all the titans, this battlefield for Ark Warhammer, and it looked absolutely amazing at the end. And of course, these guys are signified artists, but I've also seen people who are not like artists who do very, very, very fantastic stuff by combining things or changing things or 3D printing something on their own or just building something on their own. It really starts by just adding some hot glue to some spruce and creating a little wall. I mean, this is easy, but is it not art? And all of this in the end becomes this gigantic holistic piece, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah. But many people can upgrade it by creating their own minis by themselves. Like they can do it by kind of like 3D printing, or maybe cut many things together by hand.
Yeah, so either you take your pieces and kit bash, or you find something online, or you are an artist, or you find an artist, or you do something simpler with like voxels or something like this, create your own minis, or use Hero Forge or websites like that, there's more, where you take finished assets and recombine them to create a mini you can print. There's a lot of ideas that go in those directions. And that is for sure also in every way, shape or form art. And of course, additional rules. House rules to a degree add to the art piece, right? Now the question is playing the game also art? Narrating it, discussing with people, right?
I think tabletop war game is very different from all other normal games. They always like storytelling. So it really depends on the storyteller, whether he or she good or not. You can make the game and all the participants feel so excited, feel so happy, even in the end whether they lose or win the game.
The easiest way to showcase this is by just looking at a Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Master, right? Yeah. He is an artist. He is a storyteller. His job is to get the people into the atmosphere of the game, into the mood of the game. And a good dungeon master can make or break a good session. But of course, it's also, if you play battletech, if you play Warhammer, if you play any of these games, if you narrate your army, that is of course also art to the same degree, because like you're kind of, you know, in the end you're rolling dice and pushing little plastic men over a table. That in itself is marginally exciting for the people who do it, but even for yourself, like where does the atmosphere come from? Now I have not a white table with a couple of books on it, but I have a built terrain that looks good. It's more immersive. I get into the mood. I discuss, what kind of weapons I use. All of this terminology, all of that adds to the atmosphere, makes the game in the end more tangible. It doesn't mean that putting a couple of books and cups and pens on the table and playing the game cannot be artistic, but the amount of imagination needed for a good level of immersion is of course a lot higher. Now immersion is where the art then comes into play, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about immersion into a game? Do you like it, or do you think it's like you would rather prefer to have just the dry game?
No, we always want an exciting game. Just like have a combination of many things together. Also, like it's a game that make always good when everything look beautiful.
Yeah.
Everything look like so real and have a kind of like content. And understand the content, the story, and the way we communicate with other players to explain and maybe also like negotiate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything combined together is making the game very interesting. That's why people play battletech and Warhammer 40k or own other tabletop game for many years.
That brings us back to the books we discussed last time. Now there are fans who create additional stories, like what you said already with the cartoons, or like there's also a couple of channels who read a story. We have our story in like an old game format. There are many ways to convey a story, right? And in the end, it's just a medium that you use to do that. But there are also gigantic projects of fans who create big narratives that fit into the main narrative without changing it and being impactful. So, yeah, I mean, that is for sure also something that adds to the completionist of the art. Right? And this is, I think, to me personally, this is what I meant with the culmination of all of it. In the end, tabletop wargaming, the moment you stand at a table, put all your painted miniatures on it, have all this wonderfully painted up terrain, have the story in mind that you want to tell here, because you are telling a story whether you want it or not. In a way, this is a battle that is happening, right? Even though it's just a game. All of these things coming together are in the end the complete artwork, the complete piece of art that is presented, right? Yeah. And this can only be done by the players. And from the other perspective, while we are playing, we are also the observers and the analysts of that piece of art. Right? We are literally everything around this piece of art that is needed to make art. And this is because it is at the end of the process. And maybe it's not the end of the process. Next time we add 50 more miniatures, or we change some of the terrain, and then the process continues. Right? But it's kind of, every time we play, we complete the cycle once. And I think this is a nice thought. What do you think? I get very worked up about this. This is a very fascinating topic to me. I love it absolutely. Now, I mean, you can talk about this topic forever, essentially. We are scratching the surface, but I think my idea is to give kind of a little bit of a spark. Yeah,
because like it's art created by the players, so everyone among us can like have the different views and different interests, how we want to create our art related to the tabletop war game.
You are an artist, and you are an artist, and you are an artist, and everyone's an artist. I think what is very important to mention at this point is that if you're not good at miniature painting or whatever, that does not make your art bad. It just makes it different. And this is why we heavily encourage you just, go ahead, create whatever you feel like, create your art, and be part of this, because it can only be good if people participate in it. Right? It will never be good if no one does it, because everyone's afraid, oh my god, I'm not the greatest artist in the world and my miniatures don't look like what people are painting up on YouTube videos professionally. The point is, go ahead, try it, do it, participate in the artwork, and it will be partially your art. It's in the end, you are owner of whatever has been created to the same degree as everyone else, right? And this is, I think, the message that I would like to keep on the table.
Yeah. We are own artists of our life.
Yeah, and this is also art. Yep, 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 yep. Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe and thank you for supporting us, and we hope to bring you many more artist video in the future. Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.